And we're live. Um, Welcome to another episode of Rankum. It's going to be a very fun one. We did non-musician biopics earlier in the year. Now we're going to the other side of the field and doing musician biopics, which unfortunately Knives Out was not one of them. So
number one music biopic of all time.
That changes my list entirely.
Number one, Knives Out.
But I've got a great panel of guests. Some people haven't been on for donkey's ages. Some people have quite regular. But Brooklyn is back. Brooklyn, how's it going?
It's going good. Like I said before we got on call, we had our first storm of the year this weekend, so we got winter right smack in the face. But other than that, I'm glad to talk music again because I guess I'm the music guy, but that title is really up for debate.
So I guess you could say that winter has now came to Canada.
Winter has arrived. Winter has arrived.
Sir, we came is not the correct nomenclature, Malcolm.
But Caleb's here. Caleb, how's it going?
Good. Winter also arrived here, and I'm not happy. I am not happy, Bob. Not happy. But listen, I'm gonna vote Bohemian Rhapsody to number one on this list, and we're gonna get this over with.
You might not be alone on that. I'm not spoiling anything, but Andrew, how's things going with you?
They are super busy. The holiday season has come, and it has arrived.
There you go.
And everything's happening all at once. I've got so many matches. I've got so many personal things. Help me.
Well, we get it. You're an actor, okay? We understand. You're the star of Creed 2. We get it. God.
And last but not least, we've got Doug. Doug, how's it going?
Man, I'm tired. If you couldn't tell from the bags under my eyes, there's like literal bags under my eyes. It feels great.
What brand are they?
They're hefty.
My bags have bags, dude.
Wimpy.
No, winter will be in Jersey as of tomorrow. So, I will feel your pain.
But yeah, everyone's talking about winter. I don't have to worry about it for another few months now. We're in summer over here. Just want to bump that in. But how the show works is we go around and nominate a musician biopic that we think belongs on the top 12. And then everyone else says yes or no to whether it belongs. And then at the end, we rank them in the order that we prefer them. But I'm going to go to Brooklyn first. Brooklyn, what musician biopic do you think belongs here?
All right. Call it recency bias. Call it I'm just a fucking Elton John fanboy. It's Rocket Man. Rocket Man needs to be on this list. When I saw this in theater, this would have been like a Friday afternoon at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Or not in the morning, in the afternoon. So there was me, and then there was like 6 old giddies, they were in the back. And I had a grin fucking ear to ear, like tapping my feet, dancing along. Like, not dancing. Well, I was dancing in my seat. And I was singing to every song. And I was like, sweet fucking Jesus, this is a great film. Does it have the cliches? It absolutely does. But that's also like part of Elton John's life. Like, he did have that douchebag manager. He did have that failed sort of complex marriage where he was trying to ultimately like hide his bisexuality, but then that ended up just sort of making things worse, in my opinion. But the songs are great. The cast is great. What they do with some of the songs are very interesting. And this needs to be on here, or tilt mode will be activated.
Andrew, what do you say about Rocket Man?
I don't know. No, of course. No, this movie needs to be on this list. As Brooklyn said, it may follow like traditional biopic tropes, but here's the thing. It's what it does with these tropes better than most other biopics. And the fantastical elements that it adds to it really highlight this film. It's a fantastic movie. It has to be on this list.
Doug, what do you say about Rocket Man?
Come on, man. This scene where the title scene of the movie is literally my favorite scene. The whole ocean thing and showing what mental health he was issues he was going through. It's a great movie. Put aside the fact that it's non-linear. There's stuff that's out of place. We get that. There's stuff that's out of place in a lot of movies, but it's an incredible movie biopic, musician biopic. I think it definitely deserves to be on the list. And it will with my vote.
Yep, and Rocket Man does make the list because that makes 3. Caleb, I don't think you like this movie. What do you say about it?
If you want a point for point, beat for beat, exactly how it happened story, go read a fucking book, nerds. Rocket Man is the perfect Elton John film. It totally captures the spirit of the artist. He uses his music perfectly. I freaking love Rocket Man. This is a goddamn hell yes from me.
Yeah, Rocket Man Rocket Man is a yes for me as well. I love this movie. This is one that I didn't know what to expect because when I heard that they were taking it all in a different thing and making it different to a normal biopic, and I'm hearing an echo somewhere, but yeah, it's one of those ones that I think would have been there regardless. Andrew, what are you going to bring up first?
All right, I need to get this movie on here, so I'm going to propose it right away because this is as close to a perfect movie as you can get. It might very well be a perfect movie, and that is Amadeus. I think that everything about this movie is brilliant, from the direction to the acting to the script to the use of music to the cinematography to the editing. It's all amazing. And for as long as it is, you don't feel the length of that movie because you are just enraptured in F. Murray Abraham's performance and Tom Hulce's performance. This is by far the best music biopic.
Doug, what do you say about Amadeus?
Andrew, you get to drive 45 minutes and kick my ass because I've actually never seen this movie.
All right, let me get my car keys right now.
No, it's not that I haven't want to see this movie. It's really hard to find. I don't know where to find it. I've tried to look it up before. I've tried to go to a library. I just can't find it. As soon as I get to check it out, I will let you know what I think. But yeah, I have not seen it, so I can't vote it on. Don't hurt me.
Brooklyn, what do you say about Amadeus?
So this was on a list of movies that I had to see for this list, and I did see it, and this is fucking unreal. I love the the rivalry element of it as well, as if he's almost trying to like catch up to Mozart, but he can't really do that. And I agree as well that the runtime just flies by. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best. Definitely top 3 for sure. But it gets a yes for me.
Caleb, what do you say about Amadeus?
Mediocrities everywhere. Yeah, I'll vote for Amadeus.
And Amadeus does make the list. And Andrew, I hope you got a plane ticket ready because.
Guys, find it. Try as hard as you can to find it.
Hey, I mean, it's one I've been trying to find for ages to watch. I've been trying to watch it for ages because I heard so much about it. But yeah, Doug, what's the first movie you're going to bring up?
All right, so I have 4 that I really want to try and bring up, and hopefully I can bring up all of them, or somebody else will bring it up. The first movie I am going to bring up is one. When I first saw it, I knew who this artist was. I didn't know his life, and it was a terrible beginning and a really hard middle for him. And that's right. I love this movie. I watch this movie at least once a year. I think Jamie Foxx embodies the role. Ray Charles is one of those musicians where he could sit down at a piano and play a 90-minute random off the top of the head song and make a crowd go crazy. And you felt that with Jamie Foxx's performance. I also think it's more than just the performance. I think his supporting cast is phenomenal. I think the music just emphasizes the entire story. So I'm throwing Ray up.
But yeah, Caleb, what do you say about Ray?
Much to Cody Newberry's chagrin, I have yet to see Ray.
Yeah, Ray is a movie that I didn't expect to love. This is the one that I'm going to say yes to. It is enjoyable, and I think Jamie Foxx does give a good performance. Brooklyn, what do you say about Ray?
I'm going to say yes as well. They actually there's a show, not a show, but a video on YouTube where it's Eric Singer, a dialect coach. He goes over certain idiolects and just how character performances, and Jamie Foxx really captures the mannerisms and the cadences of Ray, and I think that alone really gets it on as well. And I like how similar to Rocketman, they don't really sugarcoat anything. Like Ray was kind of a misogynist, and he was a piece of shit for a little while, but I think they do have that time to sort of progress through that, and I do agree with Doug where the music does shine when it needs to.
And with that, Ray does make the list. Andrew, what would you have said about Ray?
Cool. Glad I made the list. I haven't seen it.
But yeah, Caleb, what's the next first movie you're going to?
I'll make this real quick, real easy. He's the only one that's going to make this list that's been nominated for Best Picture in a year with Black Panther. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. Obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't have to say anything about Bohemian Rhapsody. It won 4 of its 5 Oscars, and it should have won Best Picture. It's the best movie of last year. Fight me.
Turns off his camera.
But yeah, I'm despite the inaccuracies, I also love Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm giving it a yes. Brooklyn, what do you say about Bohemian Rhapsody?
This is what we would call in the old Rankum Testament. This is what we'd call a bottom feeder, where it's not like top 8 in my opinion, but it's something to fill out the rest of it. So it gets a meh-ish, yes.
What, you don't like Freddie Mercury and Rami Malek with his fake teeth?
I don't like a couple of things for that movie, but I don't have time to
All
elaborate.
we hear is Radio Gaga.
With that Bohemian Rhapsody makes the list. Andrew, what would you have said?
Yes.
Literally the best 20 minutes in cinema history.
Doug, what would you have said?
Yeah, I enjoy this movie. Even if they misplaced the whole him finding out AIDS when he found out, that was my only kind of big issue with the movie. Because I understand why they did it. They gave it a big, because you wanted to have this big thing during Live Aid, but he actually finds out after Live Aid. So, but that was my only real issue with the movie. I know I just said Rocket Man's good. I know I said, but here's the thing. That kind of that for me was the only kind of sour note that I would have. Playing Crocodile Rock out of place is not the same as you have AIDS. Now we're gonna go do Live Aid for that purpose.
If you want everything in order as it happened, read a book, Doug.
I think you just found the new line.
She flew down in a bubble, Doug. Grow up.
But anyway, it's back to me for my first nomination, and I'm going to go for another one that was nominated for many awards at the Oscars, and that's Walk the Line. Johnny Cash is one of my favorite country singers out there. This is one that it tells a story of it with the good framing of him doing one last performance. So it starts with him stand there, then he flashes back and recollects to his life and all that. And The way it's sort of done, it's perfectly. Joaquin Phoenix is great as Johnny Cash. Reese Witherspoon is great as June Carter, and even the performance and the writing, this worked. But yeah, Caleb, what do you say about Walk the Line?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a fat no. I think it's overrated.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa!
Doug, what do you say about Walk the Line?
Overrated. This man transformed himself into Johnny Cash and sang just like him. That's a feat in its own. I genuinely love this movie. It didn't sugarcoat anything. It gave you who he was. It told you that he was a terrible father to start off with, and his drama of thinking that he killed his brother. I guess that's why I like Right to it. It shows you the real side of people, and they don't kind of like hide away. Also, Johnny Cash's music is legendary. He has one of the best covers on earth with Hurt.
Brooklyn, what do you say about Walk the Line?
So while I disagree with the last thing that you said, I am going to say yes to this film. I'm quite shocked that Caleb Coho thinks this film is overrated. Maybe if it was about Luke Bryan and we'll sit in the pier and drink a beer with all my friends and we'll sing an auto-tune. But this is a very, very raw performance. I think there's one movie that supersedes it in terms of like the chemistry and the rawness that you really get. But Joaquin Phoenix really embodies Johnny Cash, and it's just where he puts it all out with his performances, and he doesn't really. He's not exuberant or everything, but you can see the soul, and you can see the journey that he's been through with his songs. And I really love this one. So
I'm offended that you say I'm a Luke Bryan fan. I'm quite clearly a Darius Rucker for that.
That was the point. Darius Rucker. Oh, Jesus. Go back to Hootie and thank me later.
All right, Hootie.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm from Minnesota. Bob Dylan legally has to be my favorite country artist.
I owe you.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel.
Okay,
That's a Bob
bash
Dylan.
on Wagon Wheel.
Exactly.
Go listen to the
Wagon
original
Wheel.
version by Bob Dylan.
I love Wagon Wheel as long as it's done by Bob Dylan.
Actually, I like the whole Crow Medicine show.
That deserves to be on its own.
I don't know. I think Caleb would like more if Johnny Cash stood on top of Lightning McQueen and sang on the Black Pearl. But
yes, that is 100% accurate.
But Andrew,
well as
Coming to Disney in
as well
2020.
as well as he's playing a jazz piano that he learned specifically for the film.
And
I'm talking about jazz.
Andrew, what would you have said about Walk the Line?
By the way, Coho probably really likes the Zach Brown Band's last album. But
Ophelia is great.
But I would have said yes. I kind of agree with Caleb that it's a little overrated, but not enough to keep it off this list.
All right. Yeah.
But anyway, we go back to Brooklyn.
All right, so we are going to go once again, kind of recent, but I think this is well deserving of a spot. We're going to go with Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
My second favorite rap group of all time until they make a music biopic about Outkast, which they probably could. But I like the individual performances that we get, like O.J. Jackson Jr. as Ice Cube is great. The guy from Walking Dead that I cannot remember his fucking name who plays Dr. Dre. Eazy-E performance is great. Paul Giamatti is a dick, and that's all that he sort of really needs to be. And I love that progression, and I love the message that they were trying to evoke. That essentially what NWA was trying to do throughout the 90s, and really push that when rap was starting to get a little squeaky clean. But yeah, I think this needs to be on here.
Does anyone really ask for an Outkast biopic?
Dude, I want yes. Yes. Give me an Outkast biopic.
Anyway,
what's cool? Wouldn't it be cool?
Oh, you went that route.
Andrew, what do you say about Straight Outta Compton?
Oh,
This drink
and
is
you're
getting
on
empty.
this list, sir.
Doug, what do you say about Straight Outta Compton?
I'm speechless by that board. Hell yes. This is probably one of the easiest yeses that I will give that isn't my pick. I really enjoyed this movie. I seen it like 4 times in the theater, and I pre-ordered it the first night after going out because I really enjoyed the story that was told. Yes, 100%.
Caleb, what do you say about Straight Outta Compton?
Hey, yo, Dre, I got something to say. Straight Outta Compton is maybe in the discussion for one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. It's incredible. Jamadi's great. Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre is great. Honestly, it's like it could be the Iron Man for a 90s rap cinematic universe because like Keith Stanfield's in this movie and he can totally carry his own. Like there are so many like performances and characters that like come through here that you're like, oh, dude, Tupac's in this movie. What the hell? And it's like the best, and they can all go off and do their own. Like, dude, I hope Straight Outta Compton is the beginning of a universe. We're 4 years out. I want to see a Dr. Dre sequel. Lakeith Stanfield with a Snoop Dogg biopic. Give it to me.
Yeah, Straight Outta Compton is a yes for me as well. It's one of those ones I watched just because I was curious about it. I knew nothing about NWA going into this, and I found it was enough to tell you about it, and it didn't really gloss over a lot of their life either. But yeah, and Jonathan Peck has a idea for a biopic in there. The Beastie Boys biopic.
Give me it all day,
sir.
Give
If
me
it's
it
not
all day.
called, if it's not called License to Ill, I'm gonna be mad.
Cameron has a question as well.
Cameron, don't fucking expose me.
Listen,
Don't expose me like that, Cameron.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's like on a honorable mention. I actually really enjoyed that.
Cam, don't expose me like that.
Andrew, what's your next pick?
It's a good question. Let's go with this is a band that I've come to appreciate way more than I used to within the last year. And it all has to do with Good Vibrations. I'm going with Love and Mercy, the Brian Wilson biopic. It takes place in 2 parts of his life. The making pet sounds and Good Vibrations when his mind was slowly starting to break down, to where he's in this terrible relationship with this doctor who's abusing him. And both stories are really, really good. Even though the Paul Dano younger side is a little bit more interesting. Elizabeth Banks is great in this movie. Paul Giamatti, once again, is playing a terrible person.
It's the role he was going to play.
But yeah, I really like Love and Mercy a lot. I think this is a good movie to have on this list.
Doug, what do you say about Love and Mercy?
Yeah, no, I think Paul Dano and John Cusack kind of like got together and gave this full complete package of who Brian was, and showed the abuse that he went through with his father, and showed how much that actually took a toll in his entire life. Yes, 100%.
Caleb, what do you say about Love and Mercy?
Yup. Move along.
Love and Mercy makes the list. Brooklyn, what would you have said?
This actions might speak louder than words.
Ah,
I've not seen this.
Snap. But at least but it makes
Just drink to last the entire show, not the first half hour.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm scared for my next pick. I hope people seen it.
Well, Doug,
see.
hit us with your next pick.
I have my sign ready.
To put that sign away. One of the kindest, most unique singers to come out of a dual ethnicity, if you will. I think she was American born, but she had Mexican heritage. I really love Selena. There's great comedy in this. It's one of she could have been so much more, but her life was cut short. I remember seeing this movie when it came out. I was like about 10 years old. I knew nothing about Selena, and then I went back and listened to her stuff, and I was like, wow, she was a phenomenal musician. I do think this movie deserves to be on it. I think it was perfect. It gives us Jennifer Lopez. It got her out of being a fly girl and got her to actually sing and dance and show us that she could act.
Caleb, what do you say about Selena?
Oh no.
I haven't seen it.
Selena.
Brooklyn.
No, you all have it. No, you all have. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
I think Brooklyn's silence is seasonal.
Let me make the suggestion. Please watch it. It's a really good movie. It's a really good biopic.
Yeah, once again, it's one that I wanted to. That I was interested in what.
I already can tell my next pick is going to be I haven't seen it.
But I think that's the first time we actually had a flat out everyone hadn't seen it.
No one's seen it.
Caleb, what's your next nomination?
I'm about to drop some truth bomb knowledge on you all. This is a movie about the King of Pop. It stars Johnny Depp, and it's called For the Love of a Glove, which is it's from the perspective of Michael Jackson's glove. No, this does not exist yet, but this is a movie that's being made.
I knew it.
I looked this up.
It.
The thing is, this is actually a thing that's going to exist next year. Anyway, I'm actually gonna nominate I Can Only Imagine for real. That was honestly on my list. I Can Only Imagine. When I went into it just kind of like, okay, whatever Pureflix is gonna give us next, it's probably gonna suck. And I walked out of it and I was like, fuck, that made me cry. That made me emotional. Like, that's like, it's not even like, it's about the Christian band Mercy Me, but it's more about the lead singer Bart and his dad's relationship and like how dark it starts out as and where they end up at the end and what basically inspires the hit song I Can Only Imagine. And it's actually really good and really poignant. Dennis Quaid is incredible in it. But yeah, I'm going to nominate I Can Only Imagine.
So if you had 27 minutes in the I Can Only Imagine Caleb poll, you have won nothing because I'm not giving away any money.
You lose. Good day, sir.
But yeah, I haven't seen it. I've wanted to see it when it first came out. I just haven't had the chance to get around to it. But Brooklyn, what do you say about I Can Only Imagine?
I love the song. I think the movie is good. This tickles the Catholic choir boy heartstrings. I loved playing the song in general in church, and I think this film encapsulates what Mercy Me is really about. They really have some passion pushing forward, and you can see that in the relationship between the lead singer and his father. So yeah, this gets a big 2 thumbs up.
Andrew, what do you say about I Can Only Imagine?
I've only seen this movie one time, and I liked it. I'm looking at my list of other potential nominees.
Come on, get there. Just say it.
There's a couple that I'm almost positive will get turned down.
Think of the amount of people in the comments that will explode when I Can Only Imagine makes the top 12 biopics list. Come on.
You have nominated Bohemian Rhapsody, and I Can Only Imagine.
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody it's like literally on Rolling Stone's #1 biopic of all time when it comes to music.
That means nothing. That's Rolling Stone.
But I'm saying I Can Only Imagine doesn't sniff the top 50 on those lists. Imagine the riot we can start.
I'm making the decision right now. And I'll allow it.
Yes! Victory!
Well, I was about to say, it didn't matter if Andrew said yes or no because it would have come down to Doug. But Doug, what would you have said on I Can Only Imagine?
I can only imagine. I enjoyed this movie. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I would have probably said yes.
And let's face it, knowing our community, there's going to be a lot of people complaining about the fact Bohemian Rhapsody is on this list. So,
That's true. But people will freak even more when they see I Can Only Imagine made the top 12.
I mean, we did get VeggieTales on animated sequels.
Listen, VeggieTales is a freaking national treasure. You take that back, sir.
Hey, I didn't say it was a bad pick. I just said we managed it on there. But anyway, it's back to me for my next nomination.
It's a bad pick.
But it's next me for my next nomination. And I'm going to go for one that I watched yesterday just for this list. It's one that I didn't even know there's a biopic on this person. I'm going with the movie England Is Mine, which is about Morrissey, the lead singer of the Smiths. This is one that I thought was really interesting. I'm not saying it's in my top part, but I think it's good enough to be in the lower part of this list. So England Is Mine is on the table. Doug, what do you say about England Is Mine?
I'm pretty sure I know where.
Can I just get my answer out of the way first?
Yeah, can I get mine out there too?
Andrew, have you seen it? So that's another clean sweep of haven't seen.
I was just gonna say. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, even if I had seen it, I'd say no because it's about the Smiths, and if anything about the Smiths gets brought up, Rosa crawls out of his Tennessee hole and yells at you. It tells you that you're wrong for not liking the Smiths.
I have not seen this movie, but this is a movie about Morrissey. I can only imagine that this is just a movie about how much he just sucks his own dick of how great he thinks he is. The Smiths are a good band in general, but Morrissey is fucking awful.
He's a trash human being.
He is.
Speaking of which, we don't have Matthew Rosa in the backstage yet.
Oh, thank God. I don't need to be cursed at and told that I'm terrible because the Smiths are the 17th best band ever or something.
In fact, Kevin Holzman, what is the correction? VeggieTales was movies based on TV shows, animated sequels was Lilo and Stitch.
The birth of Team 19 on that episode, baby. That's the best thing to ever happen to this community.
I mean, the best part of that episode was Cameron stabbing Team 19 in the back at the end.
A lot of wounds have been needed to be healed from that, and we are still working on it day by day.
Brooklyn, what's the next biopic you're going to bring it up?
So I was alluding to a movie earlier that when we talked about the raw chemistry of Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon, I said that there was one that was a little bit better in terms of that, and that is What's Love Got to Do with It. This is the Ike and Tina Turner biopic, and I think that both Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne hit it out of the park. To use a baseball reference in a music biopic list, Lawrence Fishburne is often typecast as the good guy. He's not really the villain a lot. But here he's a real piece of shit. Like that abusive relationship really transpires in this. And I love Angela Bassett. Like it's like you can eventually find out that she doesn't do the singing. But how she evokes Tina Turner's performances just shows how much dedication that she has into the performance, and I think on those performances alone, that's where we need to see What's Love Got to Do with it.
So Andrew, what does love have to do with it, and what do you say about this movie?
I don't know. It's a secondhand emotion, so.
Damn it! You took what I was gonna say. Damn you!
This movie is really good. I really that one scene in the limo in particular. That's a great scene. That's good biopics scene right there. You know what? Yeah. Why not?
Doug, what do you say about what's that got to do with it?
Hell yes. The musical performances, regardless who she's singing or not, Brooklyn's completely right. Tina Turner, you could see Tina Turner in that film. It was great. Roll it, roll it, roll it.
And with that, what's that got to do with it does make the list. Caleb, what do you say about what's that got to do with it?
Who needs a heart when a heart can't be broken? But in honor of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, yes, Tina Turner gets it.
Wait a minute,
But yeah, I love the song, but
God, I'll be right back. Jesus Christ.
but Andrew, what's your next movie you're going to bring up?
Okay. I already know what's going to happen.
I swear to God, if you take what I'm about to say, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna yell at you so hard.
No, I'm not going to take what you're about to say. I promise you that I'm not. Because I doubt this is going to make the list, but I got to get the proposal out there. I got to stay on brand. I got to push this movie, even though
Is it Sunshine on Leaf?
No,
Oh.
which would have been a really good choice as well. But I got to stay on brand, and I genuinely love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
So writing down Yankee Doodle Dandy then.
The answer is Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yep.
So this is the movie about George M. Cohan, actor, singer, and songwriter. So yes, this is a biopic about a musician. It's got a fantastic performance by James Cagney. It's actually one of the best performances he's ever given, if not his overall best performance. It's a great story. It's a cradle-to-grave story, which usually are not done very well at all. But this one is. Literally starting out with him as a child, performing songs with his family, all the way up to him getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And it's a genuinely amazing movie that I highly encourage people to see. And I'm ready for you to all say that you haven't seen it yet.
Doug, what do you say about Yankee Doodle Dandy? Caleb, have you seen Yankee Doodle Dandy?
Is it better than Malcolm X?
I like that movie better.
Yeah, no. Okay. Nope. No.
Brooklyn, what do you say about Yankee Doodle Dandy?
I literally just got this fucking drink.
I had to stay on brand. It's the third man.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Bart. If we got far enough down, I was gonna nominate it even without having seen it.
But anyway, it doesn't make the list, sadly. But I have seen this movie.
What? Holy shit!
As soon as Andrew brought it up on the Biopics, I thought, I must check this out. So I watched it after that Biopics episode of Your List Sucks. I enjoyed it. I would have suggested it.
Oh my god! Vindication!
Okay.
But
Doug, what's the next movie you're going to
I'm ready for my next movie to get shot down. It's a movie from 1987. It is a story about Richie Valens. I really love this movie. I remember seeing it at a young age, just like when I saw Selena. La Bamba is a ridiculously great movie. It's a pretty much him being a teenager to the plane crash. Spoilers if you haven't seen a movie that's 32 years old. I think this movie is ridiculously great. Lou Diamond Phillips, his brother Essa Morales, shows you the trouble of his home and how it was like when they grew up in the area that they grew up in, moved to suburbia, and showed you what it was like to kind of fall in love with, like it showed you the racial tension that was there as well, because he fell in love with a white woman, and it wasn't too keen looked upon. but it also showed the damage that fame can do to a person when they're not ready for it.
But yeah, Caleb, what do you say about La Bamba?
La 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 bamba.
I didn't know there was a plane crash, so I'm never gonna watch this movie. Thank you. You spoiled the ending. I haven't seen it, so now you spoiled it. Why do I need to go see La Bamba now? Thank you,
May I interject for 1 second?
Congratulations. Your plane just
out of the way. Can I get my vote out of the way first? I have not seen this since I was a young child. This is probably the movie that Lou Diamond Phillips is best known for, performance wise. So, Mr. Coho, you uncultured swine. The death of one Richie Valens La Bamba. If that did not happen, we would not get one of the top 3 greatest songs ever written. American Pie by Don McLean. You uncultured fucking monkey. Yeah, this needs to be on here.
He was there too. I thought that was the day the music died when Bob Hope.
That was the day the music died. How do you not know about the plane crash?
I just knew that Bob Hope was on a plane and they wrote a song about it. That's all I knew. That's all I knew.
Find a happy place. Find a happy place. Blue fighters. Bare naked ladies.
And the role of grumpy old man previously held by Cody Newberry has been taken up by Brooklyn Bell tonight. But Andrew, what do you say about La Bamba once you actually get your breath back?
Bob Hope. Is his name not Bob Hope?
No!
What is his name?
Buddy Holly!
Buddy Holly, that's what it was. There it is. Okay, there it is. I knew it was a BH, okay? Who's Bob Hope? That's a name I know for some reason that's old.
He's an actor from the 50s.
Was he in The Third Man? Was he in Yankee Doodle Dandy? Bar?
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? That would be, you know what? That would be a fun music biopic. Biopic about war.
Vodka chicken strips.
Okay, I gotta say yes. After all that, I have to say yes. I was gonna say no, but I'm gonna have to say yes now.
I know who Richie Valens is. I know about the plane crash. I just I think I've seen the wrong La Bamba movie, not the one that was brought up, but I haven't seen this one. But La Bamba makes it on. Caleb, it's back to you for your next nomination.
All right, guys. You all haven't talked about this yet. It makes me a little worried. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti. He's nervous. 8 Mile, guys. 8 Mile. The Eminem biopic. It comes up when you look up biopics. You can say B. Rabbit's not Eminem. I don't care. It's very clearly an Eminem biopic. Eminem just didn't want to use his own name. It is an Eminem biopic. It's on every biopic list when you look it up. 8 Mile. Walk my white ass back across to the trailer park.
But yeah, this is one that I had on as a stretch because it's one that that you do find it on various biopic lists, and there is truth that it is. That,
it's like 85% true.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say yes anyway. But it's going to come down to everyone else now. Brooklyn, what do you say about 8 Mile?
Yes.
Andrew, what would you have said about 8 Mile? Doug.
Sure.
And with that, we've got one spot left.
Oh shit!
Malcolm, you gonna fill it?
That's what she said.
I mean, I'm gonna take a risk because I know that this is technically not a biopic. I just the only other one that I've got on my list, I don't really want to bring up if I can help it, because I really don't like the movie, but I had it down as a last thing. But there was one brought up in the chat that I'm going to try, because why not? It's going to be Walk Hard, and I know this is a joke, and
That is not a biopic.
I want it to be
Not a
biopic.
biopic.
Nope.
My answer is no.
All
Well,
of us are
as
saying
my
no
great
on that.
say which one hands number. See which one fills up first.
Yeah.
I wonder why I drink.
Anyway, that wasn't my serious pick. So
Can we go back and actually vote on For the Love of a Glove, the unproduced Michael Jackson biopic by Johnny Depp, from the perspective of his glove?
Well, if it hasn't been released, it can't be. It can't.
I can already tell you Best Picture. It's already going to win Best Picture.
But anyway, my real nomination.
I need to know where that glove.
Right there, Chris Clark. The old pump fake.
My real nomination is going to be the Motley Crue document biopic that was released on Netflix, The Dirt. This is this is not a good movie. As Cody would say, we need a good bottom feeder for the last spot.
That's my term. How dare you credit? How dare you credit that son of a bitch, Cody Newberry? That's my term.
But yeah, I think this movie's fine. Does it belong in the top 12? Not really, but I'm actually out. This is my last resort pick, so I'm going to throw it out there. Brooklyn, what do you say about The Dirt?
Now, hear me out, Caleb, Doug, and Andrew. We have a lot of wine on this list. We have like Walk the Line, Love and Mercy. I can only imagine. We have some nuts. We have La Bamba, 8 Mile, Straight Outta Compton. What this theoretical music biopic platter needs is a good old hunk of cheese, and The Dirt is the cheese. Is it the greatest? Is it the greatest music pick? Absolutely not. Does it really follow into some of the tropes? It kind of does. But you know what? They also do the same thing similar to Rocket Man, where they don't really paint Motley Crue lightly. Like they go through Nikki Sixx's heroin addiction, and they go through the death of what's his name from Guns N' Roses. It's cheese, but it's raw. It's raw as well. And you have fun with it. Like it provides so many emotional tones for me that I like it. This would be a good example of a bottom feeder, but I understand if you guys want to say no.
Andrew, what do you say about The Dirt?
Look, I watched this movie because I was excited for this, and boy, was I kind of disappointed. It tried to cram in way too many things all into one movie. I thought that the performances were just okay, aside from why am I blanking on his name?
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly, who I thought gave a really good performance, but his character was written in a way where I was like, wow, I don't think that's completely accurate. So I don't think it was written well enough to earn its spot on this list.
Doug, what do you say about The Dirt?
I can't give this a yes. I'm sorry. I know you never should compare the book to the movie, but this would have been such a better eight-part miniseries. Like you would have, like I think it just, I like what Andrew said. I think they just tried to shove way too much information from the formation of the band all the way to like them breaking up and not being able to reunion again. So,
Caleb, what do you say about The Dirt?
If your biopic has Machine Gun Kelly,
Oh,
rapper,
God, no.
as a rock star, that's instantly top 12 for me.
Oh,
Give
no.
that shit a hell yeah.
No.
MGK all the way, baby.
you have 8 Mile, and then the person that he destroyed. Great. That's
He destroyed? What the?
he destroyed Machine Gun Kelly and
Oh, God, I thought you were going vice versa.
no. He destroyed him, he buried him. He found a career singing now.
But who would play Caleb Coho if they ever did a biopic on the Four?
Ed Sheeran.
Are you high? Like maybe fucking Jacob Tremblay, but like
No, Brady
you would
Noon.
probably spend.
I am Brady Noon from Good Boys, sir.
No, you would. Jacob Tremblay would have to spend a good 18 months just to grow that like rat stash to really evoke the Caleb Cohoism, especially in the fall season.
Paul Dano, but they put the de-aging technology on him.
Cameron, go to bed. It's like 8:30. Past your bedtime. Brush your teeth, get your pajamas on, and get the fuck to bed.
No one's coming to tuck you in.
But Brooklyn, what did you have any honorable mentions?
The next one that I was going to try and put on if the dirt happened to get noted was I'm Not There. I think Bob Dylan is probably like the closest we have to like an enigma, I guess. Really, he really sort of held his hand in, and I think they really get that with the various performances. Kate Blanchett is obviously the one that shines. She got nominated for best. I think it was support. I don't know if it was supporting or lead, but it was well deserved. Supporting, yeah. That would have been my next one.
Andrew, did you have any honorable mentions?
I'm Not There was an honorable mention for mine. The next one I would have proposed was Coal Miner's Daughter, the Loretta Lynn story.
A great movie.
I also would have put up Love on Rose.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
And The Runaways, I would have nominated eventually if we gotten around to it. And
Is
that Jim Green in the chat? I see.
Wait, how do you all see the chat? I don't see the
Some of you
chat.
will get that reference.
And one that I gotta stick to my brand here would have proposed Funny Girl.
But yeah, Brooke was just joking about Jim being in the chat because I actually haven't ticked that the viewers can see the chats by accident. But Caleb, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, The Black Parade is Dead, live from Mexico. Michael Jackson's This Is It. The 2015 film Amy. All these not biopics, just great music movies that I would like to throw up.
Yeah, the last one I had written down was a stretch because I had Hard Day's Night written down, but that's technically not a biopic.
Nope.
That's all right. I got one that's actually a biopic.
My
from them.
actual can I actually nominate Yesterday retroactively?
No.
It is
a
based on a true story.
Is a
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, based on a true story.
A
Yep,
true
it's such a story.
We all forgot who the Beatles were.
This is just decoration that someone
Mine actually would have been the biopic about John Lennon's life, Nowhere Boy.
Nowhere Boy.
I really enjoy that movie. I think it's phenomenal, and it shows you how damaging. A lot of the movies that I pick were shows you what artists go through in real life. I think Get On Up is great. I think he embodies James Brown, and I would have even threw out All Eyes on Me. I think while it's kind of like a little out there, I think if we got low enough, I would have probably thrown out All Eyes on Me. I think he's like a perfect kind of like photocopied version of Tupac.
Yeah,
from mannerisms to everything. It was like it's weird.
But anyway, how we rank them is we write down what we want at number 12 on our whiteboards. Make sure you've erased I haven't seen it off there because they'll be awkward.
Nah, I haven't seen it.
But Brooklyn, what do you have for 12?
Oh, let me write it down first. Knock at least first.
I mean, you put your board up, so I thought you'd written.
Said something. No, I was waiting to be told.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Brooklyn, what do you have for 12?
I'm sorry, I can only imagine.
Oh,
Andrew,
The Dirt.
Doug,
The Dirt.
Caleb,
backstabbing bitch. I said The Dirt. Right back at you, bitch.
I also had The Dirt. Yeah, I'm not going to pull a Leroy and Stitch. Not that.
Why does everyone who comes on this show straight betray me?
I betray you.
We all know Caleb's secretly possessed by Tommy Wiseau.
Ha! I did not touch it.
I did not.
I
Oh,
did
hi,
not.
Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
I did
Brooklyn.
not hit her. I did not.
Me? Yeah, we're bringing back an old trend here. How a boost I can only imagine.
Andrew.
La Bamba.
Oh.
Doug.
Caleb, sorry. I can only imagine.
You piece of shit, Doug.
Caleb.
Am I?
Listen, Doug spoiled the movie, so I'm putting La Bamba.
Oh, fuck you, asshole. You can still go watch the movie. It's a real life event.
Read the book.
You fucking...
But yeah, I can only imagine.
Damn it! I almost got it on the top 10.
Damn it!
Imagine the amount of people who would have lost their minds.
I mean, it being on the list is probably, but then again, we've got the dude there as well.
Yeah, what if we got it to the top 10, guys? Come on, the top 10 biopics of music biopics of all time. I can only imagine. Come on,
My great grandfather used
stop
to say.
shitting in your hand, Brooklyn. It's not sanitary.
You know what would have happened?
What if he washes it afterwards?
You know what would have happened? I
Bad,
can
bro.
only imagine.
I could only imagine.
Bar leave, exit the stage right.
Okay, bye guys.
Andrew, what do you have for 10?
Hold on, I erased it because I was so sure that La Bamba was gonna be eliminated.
Hey, Doug.
Love and Mercy.
Caleb.
La Bamba.
You know the song. That's not fair.
I'm
I
not
do
going to
know the
reveal
song.
mine because it is not La Bamba.
I put Love and Mercy.
Oh. So Brooklyn's got
So
pick.
do you have
Love and
Love and
Mercy.
Mercy or La
Love and
Bamba?
Mercy and La Bamba.
Come on, Brooklyn.
Do the right thing.
I'm sorry, Brian Wilson, but Love and Mercy.
Fucking
What
hell!
is wrong with you?
Christ!
Now I gotta write it down again, Brooklyn.
At least you didn't have to write 1,000 miles again.
Doug, what do you have for 9?
Heart was broken.
8 Mile.
Oh, you're a terrible human.
Wow!
You're a disgusting Doug.
Wow!
At least
Caleb.
look me in the eyes.
Look at me in the eye when you fuck me.
La Bamba.
Brooklyn.
I'm not sure if this is real life or fantasy. Bo Rap.
Get out of here! You're
Andrew.
all wrong here.
La 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 Bamba.
Who hurt you more with that answer?
La Bamba.
Yes!
Screw you guys.
Who got a gong? Sounds kind of cool. Shivering with anticipation.
Caleb, what do you have?
Ray.
4.
We're going to war now, Doug.
Oh,
We're going to
no.
war now, buddy.
Oh no!
We're going to war.
Brooklyn.
How a boost fucking Bo Rap.
Andrew.
Get your car keys, Doug.
Fuck you guys!
Doug.
Fucking 8 Mile.
Get out of here. Walk your right ass back to the trailer park.
Hell.
Look, everyone just should love each other, but then again, what's love got to do with it? But for that, Ray is unjustly
Y'all
being
are
put at 8.
Terrible, terrible people. you put the fictional biopic above fucking Ray
Damn
Charles,
Skippy.
the person who got a new Georgia anthem
But did
after was banned.
Ray rap
After he
Falcon and call him Beaver? No.
Andrew.
What's love got to do
No.
with it? You reminded me, Malcolm.
Brooklyn.
How a boot fucking
Ew. Doug.
Ew.
Caleb.
You also reminded me. What's love got to do with it?
What's love got to do with it?
And I'm an Eminem fan.
No, you're not. If you're voting it down that low.
more of an Eminem air conditioner, actually.
Keep it quite cool. Keep it quite cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. The other side of the pillow. Let no go. Oh my God. Yeah.
Excuse me while I drink my Colt 45.
And two
Um,
zigzags. Maybe
the
that's all we need.
Caleb, what do you have for 6?
Walk the line.
Fuck you.
Brooklyn.
How a boot fucking bohemian Galileo Rhapsody.
Yikes.
Andrew.
Caleb, I can't believe you. More in the sense of I can't believe we thought the exact same thing.
Are you guys serious? Are you guys serious?
I love it.
You guys got a chat going on? You got a chat going on?
We actually do not, so that's why this is funnier.
I call
Doug,
shenanigans on that.
Doug, what do you have?
I ain't changed my board in like 5 rounds, all right? It's 8 Mile.
So the fun thing is we're forcing it to Brooklyn because I put 8 Mile because
Well,
it
we
can
know
only
what's gonna
go
happen
so far.
now.
Oh,
So Brooklyn, 8 Mile will walk the line.
Your MC name is B Rabbit. It's
We got 8 Mile to number 6. It's not even a real biopic. I feel accomplished.
The worst.
This might be the most pissed off I've ever seen Caleb go in a non-debate format.
He's about to be super pissed in a second.
I swear to
This
God.
is how you play
I swear to
fucking
God.
right.
Dog, I swear to God.
You made
do it.
8 Mile. You made 8 Mile number
Don't
6.
do it, Doug.
Yes,
Don't do it, Doug. Don't do it, Doug.
Kevin,
You know what,
I don't even
Doug?
care. I'm showing first.
You know what?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
You don't want this, Doug. You don't want this.
Andrew.
walk the line.
Brooklyn.
How a boot fucking bohemian Galileo Rhapsody.
It's gonna put one on.
Caleb.
Walk the line, Doug. Walk the line.
Yeah, just because it's the only one in the top 5 that I haven't seen, Amadeus, but so it's down to me.
Malcolm, Venmo is an option.
Remember who is take 3 and remember who is not take 3.
Remember who is your friend and who is Brooklyn. Brooklyn actively talks shit about you. Let's be friends.
And how about you? And how about you all remember what I was saying about when I nominated Walk the Line in the first place? I love both of those movies. There's no
I was actually
way...
running out of things to add to Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not gonna actually think about this one. What do we got left here?
we've got Amadeus, Walk the Line, and Straight Outta Compton,
And Rocket Man.
And Rocket Man.
and Rocket Man.
You want to see? Do you want to see Andrew Barr want to jump through a computer screen?
I will
check
strangle
my
you.
check my answer.
I will strangle you.
Do you want to see a dead body? Do you want to see a dead body?
Might happen. I'm only 45 minutes away. He might film the whole thing.
Andrew, what do you have for 4?
Walk the line.
Brooklyn, what do you have for 4?
Yo, Ram, tell them where you're from. Straight out of Compton.
You're high.
Not
Caleb, what do you
Oof.
have for 4?
Walk the line.
Doug.
You're a monster.
Amadeus.
Oh,
Brooklyn,
shit.
Amadeus,
Brooklyn?
or Walk the Line?
Brooklyn, note that I
Yes.
never said anything bad about you.
No, this
Brooklyn,
is
notice
a
I haven't
this
said
is a-
anything bad either.
This
I
is
mean, I
a
haven't-
genuine. This is calm.
Brooklyn,
Everybody
I've
calm.
actively shit talked you all day.
Children, everybody calm your collective tits for 2 seconds. I love this film, but it's got to be Walk the Line. I'm sorry.
Yes, finally.
You only got a taste of what I had to go through with 8 Miles, so shut up.
There we got the top 3.
Hey, get this though, Andrew. I haven't seen Amadeus, and I left it this high up because, you talk so highly of it. So
I mean, this was the point where a lot of the earlier ones I was probably going to do is do the ones I've not seen, because that's not what I normally run to. It's why I also actively just avoided Amadeus for a bit as well. But Doug, what do you have for 3?
Amadeus.
Andrew,
Straight out of Compton.
Brooklyn,
Come right back to me.
Caleb,
Straight out of Compton.
Amadeus.
So is it a tie again? It comes down to me.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, I finished my whiteboard right in time. Don't make me act a motherfucking fool. Straight out of Compton.
All right.
So we've got Mozart versus Elton John for the top spot.
You all
And
know
instead-
the right movie to pick.
And instead of voting for your number 2, we're going to vote for number 1. And I almost grabbed the wrong marker to write on my whiteboard.
Just gonna take this time for everyone to check out www.tpublic.com/multiplex, where you can find great shirts like the New British Empire, because as always, the Empire will rise, bitches.
Ooh.
See, that's efficient marketing. That's brand recognition.
Have you met Seamus the Plug?
Doug, what do you have for number 1?
Hold on, come back to me.
Brooklyn, what do you have for number 1?
She packed my bags last night.
Pre-flight.
Rocket Man.
Andrew,
Amadeus.
Caleb,
For the love of a glove, but actually Rocket Man.
Doug,
I'm still standing. Rocky Man.
Rocket Man.
All right, I'm fine with that.
And Andrew's like, I've got all my anger out already. He's like, I'm fine with that.
I got Amadeus up to number 2. I'm happy with that.
Oh, it's a very respectful too. I think it's a top, I think
Very
it's a
good
top 3 regardless of just where you rank it. It varies on
Yeah.
what floats your boat. Mine just happens to be watered down whiskey.
Mine just happens to be the man who wrote Benny and the Jets.
One of the men.
They put a man on the moon. Oh wait, wrong. That's a wrong. Imagine
Uh,
a man on the moon was
On
actually
the
at
end
the very
is
end.
great.
I'm sorry, sir. I think you're thinking of Everybody Hurts.
That's
But-
great. It starts with an earthquake, snakes, and airplanes.
But just to recap our top 12. At number 12, we've got The Dirt. At 11 is I Can Only Imagine. At 10, we've got Love and Mercy. At 9, we've got La Bamba.
La, 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 la,
At
la,
8, we've got Ray. At
Boo.
7, we've got What's Love Got to Do with It.
Boo.
At 6, we've got 8 Mile.
Boo.
At 5, we've got Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oof.
At 4, we've got Walk
Should
the
be number
Line.
one. Well, you're not. Should be number one.
Well,
At 3,
Would've
we've got Straight Outta Compton.
Straight up
At
Compton.
2, we've got Amadeus. At 1, we've got Skyrockets in Flight, Rocket Man.
Is Bob Hope on one of those skyrockets?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Bada bada Yankee Doodle Dandy.
That's my real number one, by the way.
But
I mean-
yeah,
I mean, Elton John did have Afternoon Delight in the movie, so it could have been Evening Delight as well. I'm not sure what the actual time was.
but real number 1 is
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Real number
What is
one
the real
is
number
For
one?
the Love of a Glove. That's the real number one.
Selena.
Is that an animated movie? Yeah.
For the Love of a Glove is the real number one biopic, and you will all see it next year when it comes out that the story of Michael Jackson from the perspective of the sequined glove is the best thing to ever happen to film.
So, Caleb, the question is, if they cancel the movie, how heartbroken would you be?
I don't know. I don't know because I didn't know until 3 hours ago that this movie was existing. So
but anyway,
I'd be disappointed.
But anyway, that brings us to an end of another episode of Rankum. What looked like was going to become the shortest 5-person Rankum in the history of the Rankum. We managed to drag it out with a lot of bullshit and stuff in the middle. But yeah, I've got the poll up on the Tape 3 page already. Some interesting picks there to choose from. Caleb, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Thank you. I'm gonna just put a caramel in my mouth, Malcolm.
Eating
Come
on
back.
camera.
Come back to me. Come back to me.
Brooklyn, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Instagram and Twitter at the real BK10 that I'm at the word. You can find me on Multiplex Entertainment, doing Nerdgasm, the after show whenever it's around, just the general bitch boy of hosting whenever need be. On Take 3 Productions, Gbox Stream is supposed to be on Mondays, but procrastination is a cold-hearted bitch. And yeah, just in general in the community. If you want to even just chat, just hit me up.
Andrew, where can people find you online?
Well, you can't find me on Instagram or Twitter. Bringing that joke back. But you can find me on Letterboxd under Andrew Barr, one word, the A and B capitalized. And doing shows all around the fan community. So yeah.
Caleb, where can people find you online? Have
Twitter.
you visited your
Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Caleb Coho, Caleb with a K, KWHO, Multiplex Entertainment. I run Fandom Fights with one lovely Timothy the Hulk Bracala. We just put out our number one contenders match today, so you can go see who is playing for the team title. The King's Day is coming up on Friday, so go check that out. We have 6 matches. I can't remember how many off the top of my head, but they will all be revealed in the coming days. So check that out.
Hashtag, I'm totally editing this match. It'll be fine. But anyway, you can find me on Tape 3 using Rankum every week. Doug, we can find you online.
Yeah, I'm on Take 3 doing stuff. You'll catch out a show coming back hopefully soon with a new pattern. Also, please go to check out The Adventures of Transvail. Malcolm is a part of the adventure. It's a D&D video play. It's really a lot of fun. We have a blast, and yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think.
But yeah, and yeah, you can find me using Rankum every week. Make sure you vote on the holiday movies bracket, which I announced. There's definitely some matchups which are really interesting. Some are technically not Christmas movies, but I can understand why they're there. But But you can also find me on Formula Random. This week we've got a Christmas movies match with the grumpy old man Cody Newby facing Zach Ford and facing Doug.
I'm somewhere on the screen.
That's the way they all became the Ranko Bunch. The Ranko Bunch.
Hey, bringing that joke back. But yeah, until next time, keep listening shit.
Drive safe.
And hopefully it actually ends.